So, Grixis Dragons. This is the turn 4. This is the turn 4 Niv-Mizzet deck. Yeah, turn 3 Sarkhan, turn 4 Niv, cast some stuff, go through your deck, and get him got. A couple of people asked if we wanted to try playing Dive Down in this deck, and I think rather than playing Dive Down in this deck, I'd rather just play cards like Eldest Reborn that just like buy my threats back after the fact. I know like diving down with your Niv feels really good, but getting your Niv back also feels really good, and a card like this is more flexible when I don't have a threat in play. So I think I'm gonna give this a go as we've got it. And maybe we'll play with Dive Down later if something feels awkward, but I don't really have anything looking at this deck list at a glance that I really want to cut offhand. I'd love to play first. Great. Azcanta has a bunch of guild gates in it, but it's definitely very reasonable here. Spell Pierce is just a card that has pretty big diminishing returns as the game goes on. Thanks, Bunno. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Fiery Cannonade probably about to be very good in this matchup. I am in for both of those, right? Please, if you want to suggest cards that we should play in chat, be aware of the stream rules that you had to click past to get into the stream here today. Why are you making the suggestion that you are making? What does the suggestion that you're making improve about our deck list? What problem does our current deck list have that you are trying to solve by adding that card to it? Be constructive, be specific. So my Sarkhan's going to take a hit here, but Sarkhan only goes up, and we're not really worried about ulting him anytime soon, so I'm happy to have him pull a little bit of fire from me. It's possible that Sarkhan could even, like, get us more perfect. Yeah, so, like, by letting Sarkhan take a hit here, we're going to get, oh, are they about to, no, they can't Loxodon, right? Because Loxodon costs 5. Conclave Tribunal. Woof. All right, well, that's a little bit rough. I guess I just do this now. Also rough for them. So turnaround fair game, I suppose. Fantastical. I'd like your worst card, please. Tristani was their worst card. Well, that's terrifying. Wonder if they have another Conclave Tribunal, maybe. Amara, sure. And Nick's like, what's this attack about here? Alright, so I think I'm just gonna shock a knight and keep my health total high here. And this Ionize to hopefully protect Nick until we get to 7 mana. Just use my mana here. They rip a piece of removal for Nick, we're gonna be in trouble. But otherwise, we're in an okay spot. Why cast down over Price of Fame or vice versa? It depends on what threats you're looking to kill. So like this deck has Price of Fame in it because we have like shocks and lava coils to insulate us against a lot of the smaller threats, whereas shocks and lava coil miss some of the larger legendary threats, like Lyra, for instance, is a good example of one that it misses. So which one should you be playing is dependent on what matchups you're interested in beating with the card that you're adding to your deck. This is a Star of Extinction matchup. Probably not. This is my board for the blue-red deck. Or the green-black deck. These Eldest Reborns aren't particularly amazing here. Just bring in a mix of counterspells. Probably fine. Yeah, I feel like if we're making it to that late game point, though, we've probably won. So, like, why do we need a card that's, like, extra good there if we've already won? I don't know, Pikes. I think it's very easy to clunk up on too many dragons. The sand doesn't impact the board too quickly, but it's got turn 4 Niv set up. And, like, the opponent's deck isn't super aggressive, so, like, turn 4 Niv is probably fine. Ooh, that means I want Moment of Cravings in my deck post for the next one. I just don't think this deck applies enough pressure for Demanding Dragon to be relevant. I think your opponent's just going to take 5 most of the time. We're not an aggro deck. We're a control deck. And, like, Demanding Dragon's the type of card that needs to be in an aggressive deck to leverage the power behind it. We no longer have turn 4 Niv because they had Scary Threat into Scary Threat, which is unfortunate for us. Danto Vanguard is very good. Having black cards is nice to be able to kill that, though. That's a big scary. Probably dead here. Yeah. Need Cravings in my deck. Just too aggressive for us when we're on the draw. Definitely want those. Trim those. I'll trim Chemister's Insight. I'll trim a Chemister's Insight. I think I just want all of the spot removal Lone Wolf. I think if I can keep their larger threats out of play, I'm, like, pretty happy. It's real good. Is there Contempt in my board still? If there is, that might be okay. I don't know. Contempt's a card that's hard to cast consistently early in this deck. Like, we do not have a lot of black sources in our mana base. I bid both of these, actually. Yeah, they definitely have Tristani. We actually saw that out of their deck last game. Danto. How do you remove indestructible threats? Things like Moment of Craving, things that exile, or things that give minus to their toughness. I'm gonna go ahead and bin the Steam Fence here, I think.
What madness!
Oh, Sarkhan, you so cray. Yeah, if you look at our mana base, our mana only has 10 black sources in it, so playing black cards is prohibitive. One of the ways you build your 3-color decks to have consistency is by not only building your mana base in a good way, but building your mana base so your mana base supports the spells that you're playing. So this is a blue-red deck with a small black splash, as opposed to a dedicated Grixis deck, is the way you want to think about it.
I don't need this. I need this.
And like, while you're obviously going to have some games where you have black cards, they're going to be few and far between. Alright, if they have a way to exile Niv here, they kill Niv, kill Sarkhan. We're kind of up a creek as far as killing this Azcanta goes. It's possible that I should have been to land rather than the second Sarkhan, but I kind of wanted to hit all my land drops consistently. Opt for Shock to hit our land. Does it look like we're having issues hitting our land drops? We've got like 26 lands and we have Discovery, 25 lands. Yeah, it's like worst case scenario for us. Really need to draw a Fungal Infection or a Moment of Craving to be in this game at this point. Is flipping Bolas a win condition in this matchup? Flipping Bolas is a win condition in every matchup. Card's great when it flips. It costs 11 mana. It basically always wins the game. I want to take a moment to appreciate the answer newer players tend to ask. You know, many players with competitive experience, professional credit either refuse to answer questions or have read about it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody starts somewhere, right? I do my best to have a lot of commands for common questions too, right? So that helps a lot. Things that get asked too often just get added to a command so we can direct players to a place to read something. Stop it. That card is so good against blue-red. Happy Turkey Day, Purio Han. Gobble, gobble. Boros charm you, kill your Amara. Turkey Jeff is the stuff of nightmares. Depending how good their leftovers are here, we're like a Niv or a Moment of Craving for being in this game. But if they have anything good left over, we're probably dead. So you're saying there's a chance. They still need a removal spell here. Flower kills us as well, right? Flower kills us as well. The back half, whatever flower is. Legion's Landing. That does not kill us. I'm not dead yet. Stop mousing over your things like you're gonna convoke. Alright, that could have gone worse for us. Alright, come on, Niv. Come on, Niv. Damn it, Niv. Damn it, Niv. We untapped with you, Niv. We're supposed to win the game when we untap with you. So, like, draw another land to die here. Alright, we're like a Moment of Craving away. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. It's so incredibly hard to lose when you untap with Niv-Mizzet. It's disgusting. We're not, like, locked to win the game, but we're headed that direction, chat. We're headed that direction. All right. Send that one upstairs. Your move, Yugi boy. That's all I got. Bye, friend. Bye, friend. Gosh, that card is good. It's so unreasonably good. If you think this deck is sweet and you haven't seen it before, this is one of the many awesome decks that you are missing by not checking out my wonderful website, jeffhoagland.com. Click standard decks at the top of the navigation. You'll find a ton of sweet deck lists up there, sorted by deck name with fancy banners. Not only are there deck lists, but there are also YouTube videos on each of those pages of me playing those decks in the past. You can get a feel for how they play and what they're looking to do before you spend any wild cards or money on them. I would love to play first, thank you. I can't keep this in good conscience, right? Not the way we wanted to, Turkin. It would be a 1/1 indestructible with 1 damage marked on it. Never didn't have it. Ooh, Jeskai. I think this matchup's good for us. I don't know if that's 100% the case, but I think it is. Do you wait to post YouTube videos until your stream is over? I do, because I have to spend about 2 to 3 minutes formatting video descriptions and stuff for every one of the videos. Takes me out a second. I upload them while I'm streaming, but they don't get published until after. If you are a wonderful subscriber to my channel, you can view my past broadcast while this broadcast is still going on, and then watch a previous deck list that we played today immediately. And the thought on keeping the 6 with no blue source. Some hands need to draw land, some hands need to draw spells. In Magic, you need to get lucky some of the time. And this hand, if it drew a blue source, was, you know, pretty reasonable. Had like a removal spell, card advantage, and a threat. My wife does not like Beardless, Jeff. If you're confused on the ruling that I explained regarding fungal infection and the Edonto Vanguard, I'd encourage you to go ask a Magic judge. There are a lot of great sources for you to post about rules questions. I'm not going to spend a ton of time delving into that specific interaction. No, my wife would really not like bald Jeff. People often ask how much it would cost for me to shave my head, and Christy constantly tells them in the range of $30,000. And I would prefer, if you're going to talk about judge stuff, please take it to the DMs and don't clutter the chat with it. Wonder if streaming increases the range of keepable hands thanks to the entertainment value. Nah, I gamble in paper too. I gamble like this off stream too. Magic's a game where you have to get lucky sometimes. It's okay. It's okay to take percentage plays. Looking for island tiers. We can cast this Niv-Mizzet. Oh, that might actually be what's confusing them. Yeah, that's a great point. Despite what the UI shows, putting damage on a creature doesn't lower the toughness. That is an important rules thing. This is the first time in 2 years my face has been clean shaven. So if they have a Teferi, we could be in trouble here. They just have like a Justice Strike, sure. And like, this is just such a fantastic example of why Niv is great. You should play finishers in your control deck. They killed my Niv. It was still a 2-for-1. Guaranteed resolved, killed it, got a 2-for-1 anyways. Why don't you like tapping out for Niv? What's the downside? They like play a Teferi? I have another Niv then. I think it's mostly upside here. I guess now that I'm only one land away from hitting another Niv, I might hang tight. I think I want to Ral at this point. Just like start jamming into their counter spells. I think I was going to let this happen and hold my Ionize up for a potential threat from them next turn. No, I'm not going to fight over this. There's very little reason to fight over this. Yeah, that pause also means they have expansion explosion.
Pain hurts.
They could expansion explosion me there. I could stick Sarkhan there, but I don't think that really does much on this board. I'd rather just keep my Ionize up. Losing my Ral there is bad if my opponent had, a copy of, what's it called in their hand? If they had a copy of Niv of their own, because they could like slam their Niv and then Ral is my only answer to their Niv. Probably see another Justice Strike in our future here, but again, even if this just dies, I got a 2-for-1 out of it. So like, let's just grind them down. Although it does get a bit harder to grind when they have Azcanta going. We'll probably go Insight, Flashback, Lava Coil, or Jumpstart off of Lava Coil. Oh, they're Lava Coiling him. That makes sense. Yeah, so versus Azcanta, 2-for-1s are only good if we're beating them on mana efficiency while doing it. So in control mirrors, you often, the thing you care most about is card advantage, but once they have Azcanta going, it becomes really hard to beat them in the card advantage race, so then it becomes more about mana efficiency, because this card costs them mana efficiency. Am I going to be playing some Modern today or this weekend? I'm not planning to play Modern during this morning stream or this afternoon stream, but I might come back on tonight and do some Modern. I will definitely be doing Modern at some point this weekend. Thank you for the bits, low one. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think if your mana base, has fewer than 16 blue sources in it or 17 blue sources, you should play Ionize. I think 17 is about the spot where I like to play. I'm gonna go ahead and Ionize this because it lets me get some card draws in. Like, they're gonna sabotage me. They're gonna sabotage my Ionize here, but that's fine because I get to draw 2 cards here. I draw 1 from my Ionize and 1 from their sabotage. And like, if they play Teferi, if they tuck my Niv here, I just play another Niv and then Discovery to kill their Teferi. Happy 3 months. I done share. Thank you for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Oh, actually, I can go Niv, Sarkhan, plus the Sarkhan, discard this Lava Coil, kill the Teferi.
You will feel the Bolas.
That's better, I think.
No more games.
Another Niv on top of my deck here. They've got all the cards, but can they Can they utilize them before this Niv actually kills them? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I've binned all my lava coils, chat. Have I gone through all 4 of them? There's 3 of them. That's fine. We can dispersal this, right? Well, I can also just, like, deal 4 to this. I can deal 1, 2. This draws a card as well, right? Yeah, I can just deal 4 to this. Sorry. I oft forget how messed up Niv-Mizzet is.
Don't doubt my methods.
I'm gonna keep both of those. They're only possible out here as like a Niv-Mizzet of their own, right? So like might as well keep Price of Fame on top of my deck. This deck's pretty good against Jeskai in my experience playing it. You just like have a lot of cards that line up well into theirs. And, like post board we get to like cut our poopy cards like Lava Coil and Fiery Cannonade. And honestly, Sarkhan's one of the reasons why this deck has such a good control matchup, because Sarkhan lets us cycle through those wrong half cards, which is nice. Yeah, Eldest Reborn is also very good here. Like, they already have limited ways to beat Niv, and then, like, having Eldest Reborn to, like, kill their threats and, like, bring ours back is just, that was so absurd. Yeah, we have Chemister's Insight too. Alright, what if instead of doing that, we didn't do that? I forget where this list originated from. I don't remember if somebody submitted it or if it's something that we worked on stream. I don't know. I don't really. Tracking ownership of decks is something that I think is silly. You just play sweet decks and don't worry about who built them. And they all starts to blur after a while anyways. Lit up at home today while the family's out for turkey. Thanks for the entertainment. Thank you, Schnookums, for the biddies. I appreciate it. I'm going to be here for another 3.5, 4 hours at least, I believe. Planning to go till 4:30 or so. I really like History of Benalia in Jeskai. I think that card's sweet. We do need to make sure we can actually win the game before we run out of cards in our deck. There's only 24 cards in our deck. Although I guess Niv next turn is almost lethal, right? How many bits do I need to donate to bump a deck? 100 bits is 1 point in my queue. So for every 100 bits or $1 donated, you can bump a deck by 1 point. That's pretty clean. I probably don't want all these shocks. I'll leave 2 shocks. I'm gonna bring in 2 Price of Fames. Just because, like, their Nivs are the most important card in the matchup. Just want copious amounts of ways to take those off the table. Shock isn't the stone cold worst in this matchup because it's a 1-mana spell to play after we resolve Niv-Mizzet to draw a card right away, and it can finish off Tefreeze after they minus to tuck one of our creatures. I mean, Niv on both sides of the board is gas. Did anybody else play back when Consecrated Sphinx was legal during, what was that, Mirrodin Besieged, was it? Just like Consecrated Sphinx mirrors? Another thing that's really sweet about this deck in these control matchups is that Sarkhan being a play on 3 that's basically a must counter for them is a big deal. A lot of the must counter plays in these control matchups don't start till 4 or 5 mana, so like having one really early that they need to be able to answer is pretty valuable. Ooh, a piece of candy. That might be greedy. That might be greedy, but we live for greed here. I'd like to bump green-black elves. We'll do Romero. Romeo, is that for standard or modern? Is there definitely elf lists for both? Ionize me, baby. Syncopate, chirp. Ixalan's binding is very good, for sure. So I think I'm actually gonna stick Bolas here. Standard sounds good. So this is the part where we get punished for having bin those lands. Yeah, yep.
We begin. Yes.
Yeah, no justice stream. No justice stream. I told you the shocks were good for finishing off Teferi after he down ticks, chat. I am many things, but I am not a liar.
Right on. You know what? I'm not done yet.
So I think I'm gonna try and hit the land for this Eldest Reborn. I should have kept one of those 2 islands. Goodbye, friend.
Want me to phase you out of time?
Want me to phase you out of time? Come at me. You're gonna be on my team in a second, big boy. You have any opinions on mill in this board? We played a blue-white mill deck and it just seemed bad. The mill win conditions just aren't good at racing. This deck ticks a lot of boxes that I want to tick in standard. So Chemister's Insight plus Sarkhan alone kill this Drake. Actually, just Chemister's Insight with my draw step does, right?
I'm known for my excellent. Keep up the pace.
If you really hate Jeskai control, this is a great deck to play. Oh, I could have flipped Bolas as well. Just what an embarrassment of riches.
I don't need this. I need this.
I like that we're still playing Magic. I don't know why we're still doing that. What's the card that you have to draw here? Maybe they have the Meteor, destroy a land, deal 20. Maybe they have a destroy a land, deal 20. Star, yeah. Star of Extinction. Yeah, listen, that Jeskai player said no to so many people's fun in their lifetime. Niv-Mizzet's gonna come on over and stomp around on them for a hot second. This is fine against an unknown. I've got Lava Coil against an aggressive deck into Ionize. Niv's good against most things. What's going on, Damage Shield? How much do you have to donate for you to never shave your face again? Probably not a lot. Ooh, more Jeskai. Yummy, yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I've got control decks in my tummy and they're all gonna die. Lots of streamers go back on stuff like that. You should stop watching them. They're dirty liars. That's a good draw. Get to counter their counter. Oh, all right. Nope.
Time for plan B.
After the owl costume, I don't doubt anything Jeff says, right? I am many things, Jeff, but a liar is not something that I am. Paint me like one of your French girls. I am a big, beautiful Niv-Mizzet. Oh man, look at this. They're gonna kill my Niv, but I'm gonna draw 2 cards, chat. It's so beautiful. The floor on this card is just so incredibly high. It's absurd. Ooh. Ooh. Good Lord. Holy crap. Did I just jam this? I think I just jammed this. If they had a Teferi, they would have played it there. I feel bad if they like play a Niv of their own, but I think getting this going is correct here so I can get my thing back here. Or their Teferi even. I might just get their Teferi back, honestly. Drake, sure, I've got Lava Coil to cover that one. I'll lead on this. Feel like this will get an Ionize out of them if they have it.
He told I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing. Do you though, Sarkhan? Do you really? So this is 5. This will be card 6 in my discard pile, which means I get to flip Azcanta next turn. Man. Welcome to the dumpstering, baby. Welcome to the dumpstering. Sure. I think I just get their Teferi and tuck their dude, right?
Trust me, you'll thank me later.
Trust me, you'll thank me later. If I activate this, can I cast Eldest Reborn this turn? I can. Price of Fame. Okay, yeah, in.
We need to move quickly.
We need to move quickly. Quickly, quickly. If I got Niv, I could have killed theirs. No, not necessarily. That felt really good. A couple people, and now I get to untap Azcanta here too with Teferi. That's just so vomit-inducing. Oh, Niv plus Coil. Yeah, you're super correct. Okay. Yeah, I missed that. Maybe that was better. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, babyface. What's going on, Alec? I think I actually would rather Discovery here than the Chemister's Insight because the Azcanta's keeping my mana pretty busy. So...
Yes. Perfect. No time for a break.
No time for a break. The only thing we've got time to break around here is your kneecaps, Jeskai opponent. Yeah, we're done here. Just like digging for another Eldest Reborn here to like lock things up. Glue it back on. What's going on, Brad? That's a control player not knowing when to concede is incredibly ironic. Hurry! Listen, Teferi. All I'm gonna say is you of all people are not allowed to tell people to hurry, okay?
Don't doubt my methods.
Don't doubt my methods. Yeah, I don't really care if they have a seal away, right? I've drawn 60 cards. How did you think I didn't have a counterspell? That was it. That was the one. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. It wasn't the 40 cards I saw the previous turn. It was the Ionize. Got it. Good to know. Always good to know what your opponent's breaking point is, really. I think I like this board plan against Jeskai. Especially because they showed us Niv, so I want the price of aims. Yeah, seems good. I like this instead. They thought we were gonna draw 30 islands, right? Nah, I don't think Star of Extinction is good enough for this matchup. Star's in the board for the green black matchups. They do have a total up there. It's really nice. Actual factual improvements. We have like enough other ways to deal with Teferi, I think, that I don't need to bring in Star just for him. Why do you not like Coil for Grixis? Do they just not do enough to matter? Yeah, basically, Alex Jet. Like Eldest Reborn and Price of Fame are like cards that kill the Drakes as well. And, like, there's no guarantee how many Drakes that they have. Yeah, seems good. Not amazing, but fine. Settle into a pattern of Niv-Mizzet versus Carnage Tyrant. I mean, those are two top-end threats in a variety of decks. You just want both of these, right? I'm happy to make land drops and cast negates in this matchup. I want another blue source at some point, but I have Chemister's Insight for that. Well, that's a reason to leave Shock in my deck. Yeah, this deck only has 10 black sources in it, so the thing you need to realize when you look at this deck list is that this is a blue-red deck with a small black splash for expensive spells. Yeah, Niv's great. Play the cards that kill them. If they have another creature here, I might be in trouble. Yeah, I might be in trouble here. With the Legion War Boss, I think I want to bring my Lava Coils back in. Yes, yeah, like my Nicol Bolases have extra black sources. Don't syncopate me. Alright. Step one, didn't get syncopated. I think I'm just passing here. They have a Niv next turn. I'm kind of up a creek without a pedal. It's unfortunate that I don't have 2 blue. If I had a second blue, I would negate that, but I can't just, like, not have a counterspell next turn. What's going on, Boneless? I'm actually gonna go ahead and shock this token here, so that way I can jam Eldest Reborn to kill this Crackling Drake next turn if they don't do anything else. That's actually a great draw. Means I can contempt this and have a negate up still. Just gonna let this happen. I want to have counter spells to make sure another threat doesn't happen this turn. Yes, so I have Contempt plus Negate this turn, and if they're able to beat that, they'll probably tap out low enough that Eldest Reborn will stick next turn. Now, I want to do this at their end step, because if they do anything else during their turn, I'd like to have 2 counterspells up. So I'll do this here, and then I can Negate to fight over it, and then next turn, if I hit a land, I can Eldest with Negate up again, which would be ideal. So ideally, I want to draw an untapped land next turn. So I shocked this in, so like I screamed I have negate with this here. Untapped land. Untapped land. Rats. It's really unfortunate I didn't hit the land there, because then I could jam Ral Zarek with the negate up. I think I'm just supposed to pass here. You know, I don't think they would have. I think there's a good chance they have a counterspell. I don't think they would have fought over. They would have fought over that anymore. I think they were just like trying to get use out of their syncopate that was going to have diminishing returns from there on out. I'm going to lead on Ionize here. Negate's a little bit less flexible, but I would like to be able to. I'd like to be able to have a 2-mana counterspell in my hand, ideally. Because, like, now, if I draw a land, like so, I can jam Ral Zarek and have a counterspell. Yeah, I feel like we're ahead at this point. Hitting the land this turn's a big turning point for us, because it means I get to do this. And, like, they could untap and have an answer, but, like, a lot of their answers to Ral die to these cards here.
Where would you... Oh, come on. I just want to peek. The weight is killing me.
I don't have another blue. I don't have another blue at the moment.
Sorry I'm late. Not so fast.
Not so fast. I'm not expecting this to resolve, but I don't have anything else to do here. Whoa, that resolved.
Uncalled for.
That was uncalled for. You deserve every Eldest Reborn you get, Teferi. You deserve it all. Get out of here. Sure.
Let's skip to the good part.
Really want an untapped land here so I can play Eldest Reborn plus have Ionize up. Give it to him again. Do it again. So it looks like I probably messed up here by discarding. I should have taken the Nicol Bolas, so that way Niv was in my graveyard for this Eldest Reborn. Of course, I wasn't expecting these Eldest Reborns to resolve, so they're gonna tuck this now. I imagine they have to tuck this, right? Because otherwise I get a Teferi out of their bin.
won't hide from the world any longer.
I just tucked their Teferi here, right? Just like not close.
Time is much more malleable than people think.
I think I just pass at this point. Wow, I have no idea what's currently going on, but I accept. Currently do not understand what is it. Their hand must just be like a bunch of blanks, right? It just has to be. Justice strikes for our Nivs. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense that that's what's going on in their hand. Oh, geez. And Teferi's going to untap my lands here, so I'm going to get to cast the Chemisters inside at end of turn. And, like, even if they Teferi and tuck this Teferi back into their deck, this Eldest Reborn is going to gobble that up.
This isn't a fight you can win. I'm not ready for this quite yet.
Alright, so open to draw a counterspell here. Perfect. Perfect. Get out of here, dude.
Time for plan B, as soon as I think of one.
Time for plan B as soon as I think of one. Sure. That line loses to Justice Strike, which they actually had in their hand, so I think it's pretty bad. How much does Disdainful Stroke cost? It costs 13.
That didn't.
Get out of here. Oh god, this card is good. Why is this card so good? So good. So good. Do 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 pew 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 pew. Man, just welcome to your dumpstering, Jeskai control. Welcome to your dumpstering. Sure, you draw some cards and I draw some cards. Niv's like Oprah. He just gives cards to everybody. Just got this Ral chilling in my hand here too. Ral Zarek. Yeah. How we doing, folks? Gobble, gobble. Happy Turkey Day if you are in the United States. Happy Thursday, almost at the end of the week everywhere else in the world. If you're new, my name is Jeff Hoagland. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm here streaming on Twitch full-time. I'm here 30, 40, 50, a lot of hours a week. We play all card games on this channel. We focus primarily on Constructed. We play a ton of Standard here on Magic Arena. I play some Modern on Magic Online. if you're enjoying my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. My subscribers are a big part of why I will do this full-time as a job. I love what I do, but I wouldn't be here day in and day out without their wonderful support. Past subscribing, you'd also support my stuff by checking out some of my very wonderful sponsors. Lisa would like to get you on your way to a better night's sleep. Christy and I have been sleeping with Lisa for the last 5 months now and I really love it. I don't think we'd ever go back to traditional pillow top mattress. You can save $160 or more on your new mattress with them by checking out links bit.ly/HugelBedUS and bit.ly/HugelBedCA. Are you someone that thinks you always find the best possible line when you're playing Magic the Gathering? Why don't you put your skills to the test? Head on over to PossibilityStorm.com and find over 80 Magic the Gathering puzzles. They put out new ones every single week in a varying difficulty. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, Warhammer, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. And of course, you might have heard my shuffling deck at various points throughout the stream. My shuffling deck is protected by none other than my BCW Elite Guard sleeves. Using code Jeff10 at BCWSupplies.com, you can save 10% on all of your orders there with them. They do sleeves, deck box, and all sorts of other great accessories for your physical Magic the Gathering cards. What am I doing to help prepare the meal at my holiday home? My family's not doing anything today for Thanksgiving. A lot of my family outside of my immediate family, my wife and my children, live about 2.5 hours north of us. And they're my mother-in-law and my parents are both coming down Saturday, I think, to hang out. So we're not really doing anything today. I'm streaming till about 4:30, and then Christy's going out Black Friday shopping tonight. It's good. And again, one of the things I really love about this archetype is Sarkhan mitigates a lot of what I refer to as the wrong half problem in these interactive decks, because let's say we're playing a matchup where these shocks and lava coils aren't good. He's just going to turn them into new cards. Let's just like cycle right through them. Is the swamp worth it? I think so. I think so. Yep, I'm just exactly. I'm gonna hang out right here. You go do what you want to do.
Bolas told me I should do this.
Bolas told me I should do that. Did you, Nick? Did you pressure Sarkhan into doing this? Peer pressure's bad, okay, Nick? Don't peer pressure Sarkhan. He's a big boy.
Might demands power.
Might demands power. It's a real. How busted would Sarkhan be if you could use his +2 to flip Nick? If it was just like activated dragon abilities too? Just like turn 5 flip Nicky B over?
Bolas told me I should do this.
Today's forecast is cloudy. Just want to peek. The weight is killing me.
We've not played Naya Midrange. For people that are new, decks that are in the stream title are decks that I still have yet to play today. And opponent's giving it their college best here, but I don't think it's gonna work out for them. Oh, I messed up. I forgot this doesn't count as drawing a card. Yeah, whatever.
Magnificent!
You can't stop nature.
I'm actually not sure if I'm gonna cut a couple of these deck names from the title. I'm probably not gonna get to them. I'm only going until about 4:30 today, so I think Red, white, and Jeskai are the last two we're gonna get to today. All right, so green, black. How do I want to approach this matchup? I definitely want this Contempt. I want, I think I want the Rail and the Star of Extinction. They're a Wild Growth Walker build. Price of Fame's a little awkward here. I think I want any of these other cards. I guess Dire Fleet Poisoner is here for killing Carnage Tyrant, which they definitely have. I'm sure I'm an Eldest Reborn. I've not actually looked at a deck list. I've seen other people talk about it, but I've not actually seen Sam's specific deck list. I bring these strokes in. Fungal Hits to explore creatures for a very specific window that's kind of narrow. I think I'd rather just keep my shocks in. I don't think I want Fungal on top of shocks in this matchup. I think Shock is better than Shipment Fire in this build. I do, because Shock is a card that we can play proactively against when we have Niv in place. So, like, when you have Niv with 7 mana, you can, like, play Niv and then immediately shock something to draw a card. Shock is also very important at, if you watch the Jeskai matchups that we just played, you shock to kill Teferi after it down ticks a frequent amount of time. No, I don't like Hostage Taker in this matchup because a lot of their creatures have enter the battlefield effects, which means you have a very narrow window for you to be able to replay your thing. And if you Hostage Taker something with an enter the battlefield effect, and then they kill the Hostage Taker before you can play their thing, they get their enter the battlefield effect again, which is generally pretty bad for you. The one Contempt in the sideboard isn't particularly important either. You could probably trim that. I'm not even sure if it's good or not. It's fine. Threat out of play. Rude. That's a scary one. We actually don't have a lot of great ways to take Carnage Tyrant off the table in this archetype. I could even want a second Dire Fleet Poisoner on the board. Although on this board, conveniently, if they jam Carnage Tyrant next turn, we can just Eldest Reborn it. So Eldest Reborn is okay at killing Carnage Tyrant, obviously, when the board is empty, but a lot of the time, these green-black decks don't have an empty board. They have Carnage Tyrant plus a bunch of other dorks, so it's hard to try and rely on that card to beat Carnage Tyrant. So do I jam Niv or do I play Nick? I can flip Nick next turn, and then Knick-Knack Paddywhack give Doom Whisperer a bone. Nick grabs a card out of their hand too. Yeah, I think I play Nick here. They discarded Chupacabra. That's not good for us. Chups was bad for us regardless of what we did there, so like 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Yep. Well, Niv will keep the idiots at home next turn at least. A Dispersal would have been good there. Honestly, Dispersal, this might be a reason to keep all 3 Discovery Dispersals in my deck. I actually really like that Damnation's not in this format. I think it's really sweet that the sweepers that exist in this format require you to, or give the ability to play around them in some manner. Man, that's such a tilt. Happy Thanksgiving. What's going on, Eternal Life? Thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. I need another Nicol Bolas here, basically. Dire Fleet Poisoner could also do it. I get one more draw at that. Too little too late there. Alright, so I'm gonna reconfigure here for a hot second. These strokes are just bad. John Slayer, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch. Thanks for supporting mine with that. You know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna do this. Mix it up a little bit. I feel like there's a chance that their Wild Growth Walkers get cut in this matchup just because we're not an aggressive deck. Oh, I guess I wasn't and I'm bored, huh? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I could have kept playing. I was just resigned to like not hitting and dying, but you're right. I was not technically dead. If they had Stone Cold nothing, I could have won. No, casting Eldest is not pink Chupacabra. Please read Nicol Bolas. Or Niv-Mizzet, whichever dragon he is. Read whichever dragon that you're misreading. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have conceded there. There was a chance that they had 2 bricks or just like had 2 cards that weren't creatures or planeswalkers. The awkward part about this hand is it's land heavy, but it can't even cast Niv-Mizzet. Eldest Reborn's a good pickup. Even if they Chupacabra me here, I could just Eldest Reborn them back. And then I'm actually just gonna go ahead and Eldest Reborn this elf. The elf makes my Eldest Reborn worse anyways, and it keeps them off of playing Carnage Tyrant for another turn. If we're really lucky, this Discovery will put a Niv in our discard pile for Eldest Reborn to get back. Rude. I guess it doesn't really do much. They probably don't want to sacrifice a land if they're working towards Carnage Tyrant. I have 7 mana. How do we feel about just Dispersal this? I'm just gonna do that. I think their last card might be Big Dumb Dino. Yeah, their last card's totally Big Dumb Dino. Sweet. This card's so flexible. Just incredible how flexible it is. God, that's good. This deck is so great.
It's time to step out of the shadows.
Nikki!
No one can stand in my way.
No one can stand in my way. Yeah, do the surveil thing. That's cool. Nicol Bolas is great. He's both. He's a big dragon and a planeswalker. Just as everything I wanted as a child. I mean, if they hit Contempt, they're pretty god here, right?
You shall taste real pain.
Taste real pain. My friend. My friend! Oh, that feels good. Do 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 do. We knew that it would not. Do 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 do. Be do do do. Be do 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 do. Be do do do. Be 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 do. Do 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 do. Be 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 be. How come I don't play in the constructed events? Because playing on the ladder gives me the flexibility to play decks for a specific period of time rather than for a specific number of matches. It also gives me the flexibility to make edits to decks that people have submitted in between matches. So like this Grixis Dragons deck is one that I've worked on a little bit and we're playing it again, but a lot of the decks that we play on stream are ones that viewers have sent in that we're playing for the first time. And often there's some rough edges in those decks that I want to smooth out after we play a match or two. This deck really isn't playable without Sarkhan. Sarkhan's a big part of what makes this deck good. But I'm checking out their options over there. I'm surprised we haven't played against blue-red drakes yet today. The deck's usually pretty popular online. I'm gonna bin both of those, actually, since I've already got Niv in my hand. The double Lava Coil is going to be really good if they're on birds. Looks like another Jeskai control opponent. It's like getting made fun of by a teenager. I guess they could be, there was a Jeskai Drake's build that had Revitalize in it. There's also been control builds that have it in there too, so I'm gonna hedge and bin that for now. Perfect. We don't have enough creatures to make Sarkhan's Unsealing useful. I guess I just keep that, right? It's gonna let me cast Niv on 6. Azcanta's so good. Treasure map be better than Azcanta because it helps us find our win conditions. So Azcanta helps us find our win conditions in the sense that it finds Eldest Reborn. Teferi, the Dick of Dominaria.
Let's take it back.
I'm actually just gonna leave that there so that way I can jam Nick here with Ionize up. Cannot be countered. He slices, he dices, he does all the things. Where's Mashak now? A little bit sad that there is not a shock. You can find all future deck lists that we have coming up on stream in the deck queue on my website. Keep in mind that a lot of these deck lists are not ones that I have prepared, they're ones that viewers have sent in. Holy crap, their hand is garbage. It's just like, or they're just like super greedy. One of the two. 3 mana win the match. Man, can we get a rebalance on Ionize? Ionize seems kind of busted. I'm actually going to wrap up with a couple of tribal decks today. I really don't feel like slogging out with Jeskai control at the moment. I think it's a little clunky, but I'll keep it. I do, in fact, look less old. It's unacceptable on a visceral level. I'm looking for huge tracts of land. Getting the land there is great. It means Chemister's Insight should allow us to hit the rest of our lands. Radical idea. An Esper. Okay, I didn't notice they've been revitalized there. The control matchup. It's fine. I feel like we eat most of these control decks for breakfast. Oh, is this Esper Amulet? I think this is Esper Amulet. Would you recommend this deck for the Invitational? I would recommend playing games against mono red and mono white with this deck before choosing to play it at something like the Invitational. I am uncertain how those matchups would play out for this archetype. I feel like they might be challenging for it. I don't think you strictly lose to history draws. I think you could play more. It's very possible we want more, want just like max cannonades in the deck. We have 3 cannonades right now. It's possible that adding a 4th is good. We haven't played matches where cannonade is useful or not. This deck should lose to mono blue on paper. I disagree with you, and you didn't explain why, so I'm going to time you out. Please keep in mind, if you want to present opinions here, you need facts or logic and reasoning to back them up. Not everything is fact-based, but you can at least say, I think this, and then because, and then explain yourself. You killed my Niv-Mizzet. What a monster. I binned my other Niv earlier too, right? What a tilt. What a tilt, chat. What a tilt! Alright, let's just jam this. Yeah, I think the lack of life gain would make red aggressive decks hard, most likely. That's why I said if you're thinking about playing this deck at a competitive tournament, those would be the areas that I would question, do we have the tools to be successful there? And it could be that like this build doesn't have the tools to be successful there, but you could build this archetype in these colors to be successful there with the right inclusions.
I'll show you unhinged.
Hey, Scryl, thank you for the 2-month resub. Welcome back. I appreciate that. I feel like with Niv, like, the ability to close games out is really important. And, like, Niv gives us the ability to close games out. I feel like this matchup's probably terrible for us game 1. I guess if we get Niv going, it's probably not bad. Post-board, we get 5 more counterspells, though, so that's nice for us. Actually, just can't take that card off the table. Ionize is a great pickup. They're just not going to play through Niv, which makes sense. Yeah, and the reason why this deck plays coils in the main as opposed to something like Moment of Cravings is largely due to the fact that the mana base doesn't support casting black spells super easily in this deck. Am I boarding in this as a 2-2? I think I'm boarding in this as a 2-2. do it. Goyle's fine against Phoenix. Oh, Hostage Taker takes their Primal Amulet. Oh, that's such a good suggestion. I forgot about that. I'm just so used to that card only taking creatures. With the clutch specifics. I guess hand's fine. Azcanta into Sarkhan, sign me up. Like, this hand doesn't have good cards in it yet, but we've got a lot of ways to find good cards. When will my beer be back? Somewhere between 7 to 14 business days from now. I hope y'all are happy. My wife's not gonna look at me for a week until the beard comes back. I'm just gonna aggressively work to flip this Azcanta. With like Sarkhan plus Azcanta going, it's gonna flip over pretty quickly.
Who are you to call me? I know what I'm doing.
I know what I'm doing. Don't lie. Ooh, piece of candy. Is this the first time we've not had a turn 4 Niv yet this league, have we? What a travesty. Just like in the last match of the set, just like haven't had a turn 4 Niv yet.
I summon you.
Say hello to my dragon friend. Instead of a permanent millennial, yep. Are you tired of the Jeskai menace? Teferi got you down. Does your opponent sabotage your biggest, best plans in the most sinister manners? Stop on down to Rail's Izzet Niv-Mizzet Emporium. With Grixis Dragons, you can tell those Teferi players where to shove it, because they can't counter your big boy, and he's gonna deal damage to them when they want to cast their spells. This deck's fun. It's a gas. When they draw cards and cast spells, you kill them. Turn 4 Niv-Mizzet is a hell of a drug. Yeah, so like I said, we haven't played against a ton of aggressive decks with this list, and that would be my one big concern if you were thinking about building this archetype. I would want it for a competitive tournament. I would want to make sure you hammer in testing those aggressive matchups. It's very possible you want 4 Cannonades in the 75. Right now I have 2 main and 1 in the board. It's also very possible that you want more Moment of Cravings, but I haven't played those matchups. We haven't hit them when we're playing this on Arena enough to know what tools exactly balance them. All right. Should I send you this deck as well? Let's talk, Dannon. If you might be able to do that, maybe. I don't know. I just like killing people. All right, let's move on to goblins. Baby, we'll talk. Let's talk, Dan.